There's nothing stronger than a father's bond with his son.
I come from mountain, from Dagestan.
Looks like he's down. Khabib Nurmagomedov! And still undefeated.
I train all my life. My father teach us wrestling, combat sambo.
Today, I want to say, it was my last fight. And no way I'm gonna come here without my father.
He walks away from the sport after the sudden death of his father.
Let me tell you what, you want to talk about one of the greatest coaches in the history of the sport, Khabib Nurmagomedov's dad.
And if I give my word, I have to follow this.
Khabib's father all the time told me, when Khabib retired, you have to take this belt.
The dad had a vision that Khabib would be the champion.
And then when Khabib retired, Islam would fill his shoes and become champion.
That's why I have to be here. That's why I have to finish what my father beginning.
Hidden away in the southwest corner of Russia lies Dagestan.
On one side, the Caspian Sea. On the other, a mountain range, forming a narrow passageway.
The word Dagestan literally translates to land of the mountains.
I'm born from crazy mountains.
We explain that our land is part of the Russian Federation. We are part of Russia.
For many centuries, it served as a bridge connecting Europe and Asia. It's a small territory of 50,000 square kilometers.
It's a tough lifestyle.
It's working hard, the will to learn and educate my children.
Тоже какой-то физический труд. Значит, тут уже это в генах как-то заложено. Это работа, то, что здесь там что-то строить, копать, собирать там сено. Такие тяжелые условия создают настоящих мужчин.
You know, I grew up very tough life.
Its people, known for their hard work and laborious lifestyle, have withstood invasions and conflicts throughout history. Given their circumstances, the Dagestani people intentionally built their houses on top of mountains so they could see their invaders coming.
Это башня. Вот оттуда и происходило слово сильды. Вот поднимите самую высокую.
From ancient empires to modern-day challenges.
And hundreds of Russians, many from this region, are believed to have joined ISIL.
Those people who destroy our society and what we have built, we will always fight against them.
And the main mission?
Sports against drugs and terrorism.
In Dagestan, freestyle wrestling and mixed martial arts are more than just sports. They're a way of life. Among these boys was a future champion no one expected, Khabib Nurmagomedov. Born in the village of Sildi, Khabib's path to greatness had humble beginnings. Under the watchful eye of his father, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov was a former military man who trained judo and sambo, but actually began his combat career as a wrestler.
My job is to prepare people so they'll be useful for society.
Детские воспоминания об отце у меня остались такие. Был всегда режим.
Справочник Ожегова и переписывал ему незнакомых 100 слов оттуда. Все шли спать, а Кhabib переписывал эти страницы, листы, слова, учился.
You know, it's like he gave us good opportunity to learn in good schools, university. This is very big motivation for me.
Abdulmanap wanted Khabib to follow in his footsteps and pursue judo.
Выбор смешанный стиль боя. Я хотел, чтобы он олимпийским видом дзюдо занимался. Я сам тоже бывший дзюдоист, был сборником страны. Этот вид самый престижный вид спорта вообще в мире. Начал говорить, что я бью, соперник падает, я вижу, большие залы взрываются. Наш шведец, конечно, улыбался, смеялся на это и по идее.
Although Khabib ultimately didn't choose judo, it would become a vital part of his fighting style. Judo or not, Abdulmanap's goal was for his son to become the best fighter in the world.
If I see someone like almost my size, and I look at him like my enemy, you know, because I knew my father gonna make me listen with him.
Abdulmanap was so committed to bringing success to the Dagestani region that he even sold his own house and rented a larger house where he brought 15 of his students, and for the next decade, they were strictly there to study and train. That is it.
Going school, come back, training, come back. Just father try to invest everything what they have, time, energy, money.
I sacrifice everything what I have. I will sleep, train, eat, repeat, and that's it. как армейка. Такая жизнь у нас была вот армейская. И отец всегда говорил, ну, я лучше знаю, чем вы, так что делайте то, что я вам.
Once his father felt Khabib was ready, he entered the competition pool in Russia.
In this sport, you have to be very hungry, or other way, like someone gonna come and hurt you.
I competed maybe 7 years in combat sambo. Maybe I have almost 200 fights.
I become two-time Russian champion, two-time world champion in combat sambo.
And this grappling, heavy fight style instilled by his father was leading to domination.
Я бы сказал, бокс это 20% смешанности и 80% это борьба.
The transition from Sambo to MMA was seamless, where he manhandled all 16 of his opponents, remaining undefeated. But in order for Khabib to take the next step in his journey, sacrifices had to be made.
Они как по плану мы рассчитываем. В ближайшие 2 года у меня точно все связано с UFC.
To fulfill father's plan, he would have to leave him behind.
One more time, my father go U.S. Embassy. They say no, he cannot come.
The torch had been passed. Khabib would have to put his faith into AKA head coach Javier Mendez.
No, only one coach better than him. He said,
My father is everything for me.
Khabib had finally arrived to the UFC.
Номер как тебе? UFC?
I have 16-0, and when I signed in UFC, everybody say, wow, we'll see what happens now.
I remember when he first came to AKA, he had his phone, barely spoke English, and he would play me this audio of Bruce Buffer introducing him in his UFC debut. And he would tell me, DC, one day I'm gonna be undefeated, undisputed champion, and I'm gonna make loads of money. And we would say, oh, you're out of your mind. And he did all those things.
All Russian waiting for this fight. We'll see if Khabib win, we can do this. If Khabib lose, it's okay. This UFC is different level.
Declaring the winner by submission, Khabib the Eagle Nurmagomedov.
And his dominant wrestling did not go unnoticed during his rise in the ranks.
And then that slam, when he just scoops him up and slams him, you know, Matt Hughes style. That reminded me of the old Matt Hughes where he would run a guy across the octagon and slam him.
Khabib's UFC stock started to rise as he was manhandling every opponent thrown at him.
We're probably going to do big things with this kid.
Khabib's wrestling is so high level. It's so different. He smothers you in a way that you think you have good takedown defense till you run into that motherfucker.
I think about only belt. I don't care who's my opponent. This is my style, crush my opponents.
I mean, he's just an unprecedented phenom of a talent.
I want to become best lightweight ever. Take belt and retire undefeated and undisputed UFC Lightweight Champion.
Khabib builds himself up to the #1 contender spot, meaning if he wins his next fight, he's guaranteed a title shot.
Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson is an animal. An animal. He's the scariest guy at 155.
Tony was known for his unorthodox training techniques and his unpredictable behavior.
Like, I don't know if he feels pain. That kind of crazy.
Kicking a steel pipe to condition his shins.
Like fighter, he's very good fighter, but why people don't like him? Because he's stupid guy. Nobody understand him.
I'm very educated,
like honestly.
Riding a 6-fight win streak, Ferguson seemed like the only man to keep Khabib from becoming champion. But if you know the UFC, you know the Khabib-Tony matchup is one of the most cursed fights in the promotion's history.
Tony Ferguson has pulled out of the fight.
The most anticipated lightweight fight of all time, and now we're not seeing it.
We're supposed to fight before a couple times. He injured, I have injured.
And then you found out that the fight was off.
I tore my ACL.
And unfortunately now for the 3rd time, Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Tony Ferguson has been cancelled.
After that, I tried to come back. Again, ACL. 1 more year. After that, I tried to come back again. I broke my ribs half year.
And now it starts to really cut deep because the competition that Khabib was beating prior to getting hurt, these guys were going on and becoming top 5 in the UFC and some even becoming champion.
It was very hard time for me. All guys who I beat, Rafael dos Anjos become lightweight champion. And I was thinking like, hey, 1 year ago, I moved Rafael dos Anjos. And I'm here without belt and all these chickens, they fight for my title.
He starts questioning his own career.
I remember when I was talking with my father, maybe it's like, should like retire it? What do you think? Like, because I'm tired again, surgery, you know? And he said like, if you want to give up, you can give up. This is your choice. But how you gonna give up? Like so many years we were working together. Only 26 years old. Your time's gonna come, but you cannot give up. And this gives me like crazy motivation.
He comes back from his injury and he finishes his first opponent.
All these 2 years, I feel like I'm sitting down in the jail. And you guys see how dangerous he go when he's hungry.
Now it's Khabib time.
I can fight with Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor, Eddie Alvarez, with all these guys same night.
Leading up to UFC 205 against Michael Johnson, Khabib was 23-0 and 7-0 in the UFC, and he believed it was his time to fight for the title. But instead, Conor McGregor would be the one fighting for that lightweight title the same night.
Yeah, we will see. But he's fighting a different kind of grappler here tonight. Khabib Nurmagomedov mauls people. Wow! Unbelievable.
Gonna smash your boy.
Khabib Nurmagomedov is one of the scariest guys I've ever seen compete. Ever.
Khabib, frustrated he hadn't gotten his title shot yet, calls out McGregor because he believed he was undeserving of the opportunity to fight for the title.
Irish, only 6 million. Russian, 150 million. I want to fight for your chicken because this is number 1 Asian fight in lightweight division.
It's all over. History has been made. Conor McGregor is the UFC lightweight.
I talk with between every round with Dana. I say, hey, after this fight, don't send me your bullshit fake contract. Don't send me real contract. I want to beat your son.
That guy was screaming at me in between every round. Give me that fucking belt, and yelling all. I was yelling back to him, finish this fight first.
At the time, Conor McGregor is one of the world's biggest sports stars, not just in the UFC, but any sport on planet Earth.
What Conor is an exceptional world championship fighter.
He's one of the biggest stars on planet Earth in all of sports.
Listen to this place. 10 seconds. Oh, he's hurt. Could he finish?
Conor, that's what he does.
Yeah.
He talks shit to people and fucks with their head. I mean, it's a giant part of his game.
And the trash talk was propelling him to new levels of stardom.
They don't fucking move.
Who the fuck is that guy?
The more it worked, the more he talked.
I say it how I want to say it, yeah?
I own this town. I own Rio de Janeiro. People are always saying about the talk, and I talk, and I talk, and I talk, but guess fucking what? I back it up. I back it up. Oh! He slapped him!
Despite all of Conor's success in theatrics, Khabib still believed he was the best lightweight in the world.
He talk about he greatest, but All the time when somebody take him down, he tap.
After achieving double champion status, Conor McGregor exits the UFC to box Floyd Mayweather, leaving his UFC title up for grabs.
When people talk about Khabib, they say you're looking at the best fighter in the world without a title.
I truly think he is the best lightweight in the world.
Khabib is so dangerous because there's that no-quit attitude. 8 knockouts, 8 submissions, never lost a fight in his life, 24-0. The guy's an animal.
I thought Nurmagomedov was only after Tony Ferguson or Conor McGregor. Looks like he's happy to face Edson Barboza.
You have to be ready. I'm gonna keep going.
And you gotta think, all the pressure's on Khabib right now.
He's a guy who's undefeated. He's a guy who was supposed to get a title shot way back when.
This is a guy who grew up in Dagestan, in the mountains. That's how he grew up. He grew up wrestling bears. He's unbelievable.
Not looking too good.
No, he's getting mauled. This ground and pound is just next level stuff.
UFC, give me title shot. I am ready.
Khabib works his way back to a title shot, and he's set to face Tony Ferguson again. But more setbacks.
Khabib Nurmagomedov, he has not been cleared to fight for his scheduled 25-minute battle with Tony Ferguson.
With Khabib out, Tony Ferguson fights Kevin Lee for the interim belt.
So what happened to Khabib? Khabib's not ready.
Tony wins the interim belt, and the stage is set for an undisputed title fight between Ferguson and Khabib. But like I said, cursed.
Tony Ferguson has pulled out of the fight.
Canceled a total of 5 times.
But the beautiful thing about this sport, 145-pound champion Max Holloway is going to step up and face Khabib.
Big drama show, baby. Fight with Tony, smash this guy and take belt same time. It's going to be awesome, you know, but he pull out. This is part of the game.
Then more chaos.
But you look like you just got out of bed. Are you tired? Just look like, you know, you're ready to fall asleep on me there.
Max Holloway is out of the fight, unfit to fight, they said. So what do you do? What do you do if you're Khabib Nurmagomedov?
It's a very unique situation that we're in.
The UFC ends up replacing Max Holloway with Ally and Quinta.
It's never happened in almost 20 years of doing this.
I mean, this is the third opponent for you in a week. Was there any part of you that said, I just should not take this fight?
What?
I wanna become UFC champion. If I cannot beat Quinta, Pettis or Felder, how I can call this? Hey, I say I'm tired about this. If you can bring King Kong and he can make 155, let's go.
But meanwhile, Conor's best friend and teammate, Artem Lobov, takes a shot at Khabib in an interview.
There's a guy named Artem who is Conor's best friend. He's from Russia. Khabib is from Russia too.
Один чемпион и выйдет несмотря ни на что. А другой секунд будет сниматься каждый раз.
Okay. There was some kind of Russian stuff going on between those two. And Khabib slapped him.
An incident with Artem Lobov and a few of your teammates. Can you comment on what happened?
Nothing happened.
No! Open the door.
You all right, Mike?
I'm here. Send a message, like location. I'm gonna come. Whatever you want, doesn't matter. Ireland, New York, Brooklyn, or Moscow, doesn't matter.
There was a warrant out for Conor McGregor's arrest. He's got some beef with Khabib because of the Artem thing that went down. Listen, you don't like Khabib and you don't like what happened or whatever, then fight Khabib.
But if you wanna find me, please, just send me location.
Abdulmanap watches from Dagestan as Khabib tries to fulfill their lifelong dream.
This is how he tried to teach me. He always tell me, when you're gonna go to big arena, you can handle any pressure.
He was, first of all, was my father. Second, he was my coach. All my life, I spent time with him.
very sad about. I'm all my team here without my father. This everything because of my father. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much, Father.
Khabib captured the title, but the true test lied ahead.
I just want to say I'm thankful to the DA and the judge for allowing me to move forward.
Or it just could be part of his act.
Yeah, but
know,
that's
like,
the thing. Like, do you really take it that far?
Yeah.
Do you really take it that far to just make some noise?
Feels like this fight may be getting closer. It's going to happen with Conor McGregor. I mean,
You know, I can't believe we're gonna fight. Make him humble, a little bit teach him. Not only smash, like change his face. You know, I want to change his face.
Khabib wants this fight. Conor wants this fight. Time to roll.
this has become personal for you.
Of course. Long time ago.
Connor had written an Instagram post about your dad calling him a coward. Did that affect you in any way?
He is a quivering coward.
Now this is getting political. Now this is getting serious. This feels like a real war.
As the tensions from the fight rose, Khabib's father started to feel the effects.
I'm an old man, you know. I've gone through many things. I didn't know what high blood pressure is. It started changing, and I started waking up at night, walking around the room.
I'm come here for smash this guy. I don't
Smash
want to
me,
talk.
mate.
I can
You say send location. Here he is, right here in front of you. I'm right in front of you. Did you not see me outside the bus now? Did you not see me right in front of you outside the fucking bus?
I really think this is the biggest fight in the history of this sport.
This thing is trending in every way, shape, and form to be the biggest thing we've ever done.
If you would have got off that bus, you'd be dead now. You'd be dead and I'd be in a cell.
I would never go to this fight. I think there's...
What?
I think something's going to happen in the crowd between the Russians and the Irish.
His own people, they were chased from their land to the edge of cliffs. My family, my bloodline, the McGregor clan, we stood and we fought the English Empire.
Okay, why you guys change your language? Okay,
your mouth.
Just the animosity between the two, they hate each other so bad. It's gotten bigger than just a UFC fight.
You just show up to this fight and we do this the noble way. Pull out and then you know what's going to happen to you back home, kid. So that's all I'll say about that. I'm here for the judge.
It became one of the most intense and ominous buildups in the history of the sport.
Khabib, is it difficult for you to maintain your composure in this situation when he's getting up, getting in your face?
I stay relaxed, brother. I stay relaxed. I don't feel nothing.
Alhamdulillah, tomorrow night I'm gonna smash your boy, guys. I'm gonna smash your boy. And tomorrow night, inshallah, and still.
I just try to bite his heart. That time I really want to bite his heart. And he tapped and I was like, okay, it's not enough. I need something. And I know it's like, and I see like some his corners like talk with me like, and I think, oh, I have to bite his heart, you know. I think I was preparing for real war. You know, when I come there, I don't find nobody. You know, this is making me emotional. You know, makes me emotional. Okay, I have a question. If there is no police, what's gonna happen? Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I don't understand how people can talk about I jump on the cage, you know. What about he talk about my religion, he talk about my country, he talk about my father. Nevada, sorry. Vegas, sorry. And Alhamdulillah, undisputed, undefeated UFC Lightweight Champion. I know my father gonna smash me when I go home because I know he's gonna smash me.
И сегодня я в прямом эфире пригласил и Конора.
Да.
Да, я сделал такое заявление, пригласил Конора в гости. И почему бы, значит, ему не посетить Дагестан?
На самом деле его простили.
Да.
Khabib Nurmagomedov is going to be out for a pretty substantial length of time.
9-month suspension and a $500,000 fine.
Poirier wins the interim belt and sets the stage for Khabib's return. And this would mark the first opportunity that Abdulmanap would be able to watch Khabib compete live in the UFC.
UFC 242, we'll see one of the most highly anticipated matchups.
When you go to Abu Dhabi, it's gonna be a good memory for us. It's gonna be huge event.
Потому что Хавьер сделал очень огромную работу, хорошую работу, я ее видел. Я надеюсь, что это будет один из лучших выступлений.
I like his boxing, you know, his movement, everything, but I don't know what we're gonna do with my wrestling and with my pressure.
Yeah, well, I think that Khabib is a big star, and you know, ever since the Conor fight, this is his first fight back.
And tomorrow night, I can smash someone.
UFC Lightweight Champion of the world, the Eagle, Khabib Nurmagomedov.
There can be only one king of the jungle. When I fight with Dustin Poirier in Abu Dhabi, it was first time when he was with me in corner, you know. Honestly, I feel pressure. I feel pressure when he was with me a little bit.
Poirier gets a hold of a guillotine.
I look at him, I understand he's nervous. I'm thinking like, Dustin is like crazy guy. He think I'm gonna tap in front of my father. When father with me, I feel like in my back I have lion. I say everything is gonna be good when I finish this.
The undisputed UFC Lightweight Champion.
Well, you know, what just happened is Khabib proved that he's the best in the world, and he's on track to being probably the very best pound for pound greatest fighter of all time. But he stuck to father's plan. Yeah, perfect.
I'm gonna become #1 pound for pound fighter in the world. This is crazy. From mountain Dagestan, I come here and you know, because of God, God gave me everything. When my dad with me, I have always new belt. Everything is good. You guys like don't understand how I love my father. Let's talk about my father. I like this.
This is a global pandemic, an extraordinary global crisis.
Seen 200,000 people died from COVID-19.
No one was immune.
Khabib's father had an apparent stroke after suffering from complications from COVID-19.
Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov passed away due to complications stemming from COVID-19. His father has guided him from the very beginning.
Has endured a deeply personal tragedy.
You're effectively walking into a new life after you lose your dad.
My father, every day I think about him. Not only for me, for a lot of guys, you know, because he take care of a lot of people in Dagestan.
What might be next for Nurmagomedov, whenever that may be?
I'm still hungry. I really want to compete with best fighter in the world. This is my dream.
He is likely to return, but tonight's winner of this interim title fight is getting that crack against Nurmagomedov.
Oh my goodness. He broke down Tony Ferguson in a way that we never thought was even possible.
I'm here with the winner and new interim champion, Justin Gaethje.
Khabib is the best in the world. I've been working since I was 4 for challenges like this.
I think Justin is a great opponent. He never give up. But I'm ready for all rounds, you know, all 5-round war. But my goal on this fight, make him tired and choke him out.
And this would mark the first time in Khabib's career that he'd have to train and compete without his father.
How difficult is it for you to prepare to the fight without knowing that he's not going to be in your corner?
Of course this is difficult. I don't understand why you guys keep asking me this.
This fight was tracking as one of the biggest fights of all time. I'm curious if we could get an update on how things look.
Khabib is one of the biggest stars in all of sports, not just the UFC. So if he beats Justin on Saturday, he's the #1 pound for pound fighter in the world.
Hey, trying to choke by Nurmagomedov. Looks like he's tapped. Khabib Nurmagomedov. And still undefeated.
Today, I want to say, it was my last fight. And no way I'm gonna come here without my father. And if I give my word, I have to follow this.
The most dominant fighter of all time, never bled in his fighting career.
Khabib he has the most dominant career of all martial art.
the toughest retirement for me, Khabib.
I mean, this guy, I would have loved to have seen him go on longer.
Going, yeah.
But I think when his dad passed away, he was done.
The loss of his father. He didn't just lose his father. He lost his best friend, his coach, his mentor, his hero. He lost everything when his dad died.
Khabib is taken from his father, the coaching. He carries his passion for coaching and the love for his guys that the great one left behind.
The dad had a vision that Khabib would be the champion. Then when Khabib retired, Islam would come in and be the champion.
My dad always keeps saying Islam is the future champ.
Ну, я не знаю, это не описать словами, какая-то потеря.
Islam was for my father like his son.
Наверное, не как-то вот почувствовал, проходит, а это будет на протяжении всей карьеры.
The passing of Abdulmanap due to the COVID situation was a really sad thing for everybody.
That's why after all bad things, good things happen, you know. This is a very hard time, not just for me, you know, for all team.
I know him like more than 20 years. He trained with my father like almost all his life. He was my father's favorite student.
We lose not just coach, you know. We lose like second father for all team.
Khabib is probably the greatest fighter of all time, but he's been coaching his whole life. When he was fighting, after his sparring session, he'd wait around for his brothers like Islam and Umar to spar and coach them. So this is not new for him, and that's why he's going to be the greatest coach of all time if that's what he chooses to do.
If he still fighting, he will be still champion now. Khabib's father all the time told me, when Khabib retired, you have to take this belt. This big motivation for me. One day, I'll take this belt. I'm born in Dagestan, Makhachev, but all my life I live here, in this village. Думаю, что это мое, когда я выиграл по боевому самбо.
Islam Makhachev in blue for Russia, looking for a single leg. Was the Bulgarian, the Russian defense very well injured.
And just as Khabib did, Islam struck gold in the Sambo World Championships.
The last two fights, Khabib didn't defy me. He did exactly what we wanted him to do, but Islam's always done that. You know, he is a professional all the way through and through, and he's got a great IQ.
Возьмем Ислам Макхачев, он пришел во втором классе. Он 20 лет. Просто дома, с семьей, на сборах, на соревнованиях.
So, yeah, he did me very proud, and the whole team. You know, Father's plan was in full effect.
A lot of people think you're the greatest ever. Can Islam actually be better than you, Khabib? Is that possible?
Definitely it's possible. There is fighters, there is champion, there is elite. And I think Islam is elite.
His ability all across every area in mixed martial arts is second to none.
Oh, it's over. Beautiful job by Makhachev. Great UFC debut.
I love that style, man. I really do. I love that he can do that. I love that he imposes it on everybody, and nobody wants to be there.
And he spent a ton of time with Khabib's dad before he passed away.
A lot of people talk about Islam being the new coming of Khabib, the Khabib 2.0.
Okay, you guys did not want it for Charles. Everybody knows his name. His name is Islam Makhachev.
When Khabib retired, Islam was already on an 8-fight win streak in the UFC, so his time was coming.
From the small village in Dagestan to the brink of UFC superstars.
Makhachev разрушает все на своем пути, идет к следующей цели.
As I mentioned during the walk-in, coached by Khabib Nurmagomedov's father.
Islam continued that dominance of Khabib.
I met Khabib and his father. We went to the same school with Khabib. We practice together all the time. I improve a lot because of him, because all my life I complete with champion.
What an absolute stud. I am totally blown away by Islam Makhachev.
It's not fair that everyone puts pressure on you to be the next Khabib.
If somebody say I'm like Islam, like almost same like Khabib, I agree with this.
And after his 8-fight win streak, he's given a top 10 opponent. Khabib called Islam's upcoming fight his Madison Square Garden moment.
How good does it feel to take advantage of what Khabib said was your Madison Square Garden moment?
Dan Hooker was ranked number 6 at the time and was considered a big step up in the rankings for Islam.
And submit Dan Hooker with the same thing that he submitted Michael Johnson with.
Both win their fights with a submission by Kimura. Now Islam's really knocking on the door for a title shot.
Very close with his title now. 2022 is going to be my year.
He finishes Bobby Green and he's the next man in line for a title shot. But the man to beat at the time was Charles Oliveira, and he was on the run of his life.
This is very hard time for Charles Oliveira. This is not just engage, no barrier. This is Islam Makhachev. Следят за этим. Ты должен понимать, должен знать, что ты не можешь их всех поместить.
This is the guy scared of you? You think he's scared of you?
Of course.
Isso aqui assiste o MMA, que entende o MMA, sabe que o nome do campeão do peso Charles Oliveira. Isso não vai mudar. Porém, eu acho, não vou fugir disso, eu acho que ele vem surfando numa onda que não é dele. É a onda do Khabib. Essa é a real. Essa luta aconteceu porque o Khabib fez acontecer.
Charles Oliveira have ground game. You don't have ground game. If you tap 8 times in UFC, how you can say you have ground game?
But he got better.
Vou nocautear o Makhachev no primeiro round. Eu vou mostrar que eu sou um dos melhores dos melhores.
I think Charles wins that fight. I think it's crazy that Islam is a favorite.
Tô indo pra sua casa, meu amigo, lutar contra você pra fazer história e continuar como campeão dos pesos leves. Escuta bem o que eu tô falando pra você. A arrogância de vocês vai matar vocês, vai afundar vocês.
This is what Islam gonna do with Charles Oliveira. He gonna ride you, like how you ride your horse. It's very good on this.
Charles is good, you know, he have good striking, good ground game, but I'm ready everywhere. But all my life I training for this moment.
Charles Oliveira is a guy that has been dominating people, but
I already beat many black belts.
When you talk, when your team talks, they all talk as if you're gonna dominate this dude.
All his opponents, they scared to go with him to ground, you know. I'm gonna take him down. I'm gonna stop him. And Khabib's all his life beat many black belts. That's why we already know which sport better for MMA.
My dad always keeps saying Islam is the future champion.
Abdulmanap give me everything.
This my belt for my coach, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov. Many years ago, he told me, just training hard and you gonna be champion. Him and his father make me, I know.
And my father's dreams come true.
Abdulmanap's legacy has forever been cemented, and it will live on through his students and in his teachings. One of the best coaches in combat sports to grace the earth, Abdulmanap has built one of the greatest MMA families in history. Between Khabib, Islam, and the Nurmagomedov cousins, they are a combined 89 wins to 1 loss in mixed martial arts. This is something that will never be forgotten or repeated.
эта история меня будет устраивать. И во всем мире для смешанного единоборства, я считаю, я сполна отдал себя. И мои воспитанники показали это.